6 children were rescued under a horrible situation, a new crop circle discovered in Germany, and a supposed shapeshifter shares their story on TikTok. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to some of the more unusual and bizarre clips that I could find on TikTok. Let's get into it.
What happened today? This is everything that happened on the weird side of the news today that you're not going to hear elsewhere. I'm sure you all know about the tragic Air India incident that happened a few weeks ago, but in major breaking news today, British families of the victims have been receiving the wrong bodies. I genuinely don't even know how that can happen. A teenage boy factory worker was sucked into a meat grinder and passed away. The man was literally working in the factory when the meat grinder fully sucked him in, and well, you can guess what happened from there. This guy in America has decided to make a whites-only town, saying that he wants to foster American culture. It has now been revealed if World War III breaks out or a nuclear war, there is only one place you can go that you will pretty much definitely survive. Most people think of places like Australia or even Switzerland, but they are actually not that safe. If a nuclear war broke out, the safest place to be is New Zealand. A number of different reasons, but mainly that it is so isolated from where the conflicts would be going on. And also with its agricultural sector, it would probably be the only place that would be able to maintain some kind of food.
Man, there's just a whole lot of chaos going on right now in the world.
Are the elite even feeding us real food at this point?
Watch this.
So I just got this steak from Publix.
That is not normal
Look at
meat.
it. That's like
Slime, goop.
I don't know what that is.
It's goop, y'all.
It's literally.
They're literally feeding us anything at this point. Stay weird, y'all.
That is absolutely disgusting looking. I've handled quite a bit of beef, venison, pork, and I've never handled any meat like that. That just literally looked like gum. The only time that beef has been a little weird in texture is if it was waterlogged, but even still, it didn't look like that. Let me know in the comments, have you ever been to a Publix and received meat like that? Or have you ever received meat like that in general? Because that's not normal.
Okay, breaking news. Police have just uncovered something truly horrific in Alabama, and this is getting way too little coverage. They discovered a freaking underground bunker with multiple children being held in there for over a year. Bro, the oldest was 10 years old. The youngest was only 3 years old. And if that wasn't disturbing enough, police have arrested 3 men, all in their 20s, and they've been charged with the R word, I can't even say it on here, kidnapping and human trafficking. Authorities say that the children were held in a storm shelter near the men's homes and were routinely drugged, tied to beds or poles, and sold off to be exploited by clients. I mean, all you can say is a big freaking well done to all of the authorities who worked on this case.
That's awful news that happened to those children, but it's great news that they were at least rescued. And it's so scary knowing that there's probably other places that are very similar to that one, very close by with other people in trouble. I'm almost certain of it. And I really wish that there was a way for us to discover and find this stuff out more, because that is awful. That has to be a traumatizing life to deal with at any age of consciousness. There's just some really messed up people out there, and I'm really glad that these people got caught. I just wish that more people that were involved in this would get caught as well, because I can almost guarantee there's probably more.
Your chocolate fix might be getting a little bit more expensive. Hershey, the company that owns Kit Kat, Reese's, and of course a variety of chocolate bars, said that it's going to be raising candy prices, and it's not because of tariffs or trade policies. The main driver is actually climate change. Most of the world's supply of cocoa comes from Ghana and the Ivory Coast in Africa. These areas have been facing heat waves and heavy rain linked to climate change. And those conditions cause diseases like black pod rot, which kill the cacao plant that provides the cocoa. The optimal temperature for cacao to grow is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. But in February, scientists at the nonprofit Climate Central found that climate change has added more than a month of days above that temperature in West Africa since 2015. And it's not just excessive heat that's a problem for these plants, but rain too. Cacao plants grow best when there's between about 5 and 6.5 feet of rainfall per year, with dry spells lasting no more than 3 months. But rising global temperatures have shifted rainfall patterns, making it more inconsistent in recent years. All of this has contributed to a global cocoa shortage and a 73% increase in cocoa prices over the past 5 years. Hershey says their price change will be a low double-digit increase to reflect the rising ingredient costs, and it'll go into effect in about 3 months. Go to cbsnews.com to read more about Hershey's plans.
Well, Halloween's about to be even more expensive. Hey, if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying the show, give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I upload a video like this every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. and I want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel.
All right, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Real Shapeshift. Why do they call me Real Shapeshift? Well, obviously I can do some weird with my body. If you haven't seen the updates, like for example, my elbows, they're growing some weird extra limbs. My thumbs, you'll look at that. Some people are saying, hey, your elbows, it's bursitis, it's gout, that's arthritis. It's not. We've had all that checked. If you want to see something cooler, like for example, my hands, if you haven't seen like what my fingers can do, watch this. That's kind of weird, right? That's something you won't find elsewhere. If you haven't seen my eye updates, go check out my eye videos. We're gonna be doing teeth stuff later, if you haven't seen that as well. So there's a lot of weird shit that's going on. We're trying to figure out exactly what's happening. Stay tuned. Go check out, where is it? Over here. Go check out the page, the updates. We're doing a live a little bit later today. Go check it out.
Starting a revolution.
I'm really glad that this guy made this video because I played his video quite a while back with the eyes where he could like make his eyes turn into the reptilian eyes, and I already figured that it was fake, but there's some people out there that really believe this guy, and I can kind of see why. The video editing was okay, but this right here was so AI, like the hands and everything, that was horrible. That just tells me that this guy's not serious. He's running like a satire account. But it's still, there's a lot of people in his comments that are believing him, and that's kind of crazy to me because that was obviously fake. Let me know if you're on the same page as me in the comments, or if you think that this guy's actually a shapeshifter.
We have a new crop circle. So this bad boy appeared in Bavaria in Germany just a couple of days ago, and look at the beauty of this formation, bruv. Here's the exact location I found if you guys want to kind of poke around the area and see what's... So as you can see here, it's like a spike formation with 20 reoccurring symbols on the outside layer. Now, if we look back in time towards 2005, this looks kind of similar to a few others that appeared. So there's two others that appeared in Wiltshire around 2005, and it's almost like a mix of both things, right? So we've got the centerpiece there, but the centerpiece in this one has a few more spikes on it, and it has the outside reoccurring Mayan-like symbols, again, used on the newer version on the outside circles, bruv, right here, you know what I'm saying? Now, the 20 reoccurring symbols on the outside is quite significant. Let me show you what. So, like I said, we have two crop circles of the inner part and the outer part kind of building this structure here, right? So, 20-year time is called Katun. Unit of Mayan time that has a solar component of renewal, marked by Seal 20, Ahau, which means a solar pulse sent to Earth, pulse of renewal for each 20-year Katun. So the 2025 crop circle is updating 2005 related messages and events on higher scale continuity. Here's your Mayan calendar, which has a Katun cycle on it, or Katun, however you want to pronounce it, bro. So it's a representation of this wonderful calendar. Now here's some amazing footage of someone walking around inside. So we're going to talk about the Katun. The end of a Katun was a significant event in Mayan culture, often marked by ceremonies and the construction of monuments like the Twin Pyramid complexes at Tikal. The Katun was also used to track the age of rulers, with those who lived through 4 or 5 Katuns receiving special titles now. Now it's been 20 years since these crop circles appeared, and this one has appeared after, you know. Is this a bit of a celebration? We've hit a milestone, if you will, you know. So the solar cycles, the years in question, a celebratory time. If you guys know what's going on around the world, I guess we're going to talk spiritually, physically, with all the solar flares, the major change and the things that are happening. This has some sort of link to do with that, in my opinion. And also, if you lay it down, it does have like a pentagram. It's like 2 pentagrams kind of formed into one. Again, protection and all that sort of good juju. But unfortunately, the farmer has got rid of this site location. So yeah, I mean, so far we've had Germany, Italy, the UK, and there was one that appeared in Japan. So there's more and more starting to appear elsewhere, which is kind of interesting. So who knows, a solar pulse, energetic and divine power change with all the UFOs that we're seeing around the world, strange activity from the Bugosphere type phenomena, the stuff that happened in frickin' America constantly with all the drones, and in Brazil, and just everywhere. It's going on worldwide, alright? So who knows? You guys let me know down below. Beautiful formation, and hopefully we get another one soon.
I mean, I think that that's an awesome looking crop circle, but I do believe it to be man-made. Very impressive nonetheless. The time and talent that it takes to do that is pretty incredible, though I believe this is considered vandalization, being on someone else's property if it was not the property owner that had his part in this. Like I said, it's an awesome design. I just don't think it's made by aliens. I'm pretty certain it's man-made. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
We have an interesting sighting. This is actually coming out of Massachusetts and captured by a witness who was driving down the road and saw what appeared to be this glowing unidentified object in the sky. Now, we have dubbed these the octopus or jellyfish UFOs, but yet we have no explanation for them, and these things are now being seen all across the world. But again, we don't know who it is, or what it's doing. Take a look at this. Tell me what you see. I did zoom in to see maybe if there's a string attached to it, possibly a kite, but I don't see anything. Tell me what you think.
That in the sky. Is that, bro? I'm just saying. Is that in the sky?
I'm pretty certain that that's a kite. I've seen other videos like this of an object very, very similar in the sky. It could be some kind of sky octopus. There is multiple videos of these things in the sky, but I do think it's a kite. If not, that's pretty terrifying as to what it could be.
If you ever wake up with this, don't ignore it, trust me. I'm sure all of you have had this sensation before, pins and needles, and it just feels exactly like this video. Although this is a very common sensation and happens to most people, it can be quite bad. I've seen a lot of people in the comments for this video and online talking about how this is so deadly for you, so what actually happens? Pins and needles on their own, of course, are not harmful. You are going to be fine if you have them. But it does happen because you are literally cutting off the circulation of your body and your nerves, like holding and compressing your body's equivalent of electrical wires. And if you block the electrical wires for long enough, it's like yanking them right out. So there's something called Saturday night palsy, which yeah, that is the real name, where people have compressed the nerves for so long they've woken up with permanent nerve damage. And not like normal pins and needles where you kind of feel it and then it goes away after a while. These people won't feel their hands or their body at all, and sometimes it can take months to go away. So next time you get pins and needles, make sure you shake your body around to make sure it goes away within 15 minutes. If it doesn't, do get it checked. But I wouldn't worry, it can be harmful, but 99% of the time, you're going to be absolutely fine. You know, your worst experience with pins and needles, got a wild one for part 2.
I cannot stand when this happens. Or especially if you're like sitting in the bathroom, you might be watching a YouTube video or something and your legs start falling asleep, and you know you might have been sitting for too long. But hey, that was a good YouTube video. Let me know in the comments, have any of your legs fallen asleep on the toilet while watching one of my videos?
These AI robots, they're about to replace a lot of workers. Yeah, because they figured out how to do something that nobody else can do. That's not sleep, not rest. Take no time off from work at all. So these AI robots in a Chinese factory not only charge themselves up, but they started changing their own batteries. Yeah, they started changing their own batteries. They're called the Walker S2, the humanoid autonomous robot that has battery swapping capabilities. These things will start in factories. You know that's going to happen. If they're not already there, which I think a lot of factories have some kind of robot anyway. But not robots who can think on their own like the AI ones can. And definitely not robots who never need to be charged because they do it themselves. You know the powers to be. This is the greatest thing ever to happen to them. An army of workers that never need to be told what to do and never need to sleep. It's here, baby. It's here. And a lot of you are doinked. Surprisingly, I'm not going to be in so much trouble with this because I've never seen an AI robot or any other kind of robot wearing a cheese head before. Shabadoo booshkies. Shabadoo. Robot. Get away from me!
Yeah, it's really a shame. I do believe that within the next 5 years, more factories are going to have robots working in them, like Amazon or other assembly lined warehouses for sure are going to have some kind of robot assistance. That's just within the next 5 years. 10 years down the road, it's probably going to be almost fully automated. 15 years down the road, almost everything's automated, straight down to vehicles driving around on the roads. I'm just curious on how is that going to help people provide for their families if there's no jobs per se for people to work and make money. What is the point of these companies to even have warehouses to do operations in the first place when nobody has a job to make money to spend? Not even the rich people would profit off of that because they rely on people to spend money on their products. Kind of makes me think that they're trying to push the narrative for a whole universal base income type of deal.
Wait, so nobody noticed? Nobody noticed the massive UFO that came over by the pyramid and then just left? Like, everyone was paying attention. I even went through the comments. All the comments. That's a lie. I did not go through all the comments. I got distracted after about 30 seconds. I have a very low attention span. Anyways, I looked through it for 30 seconds. Not one person noticed the UFO. Not one. And it was not a small, it wasn't like an orb. It's not an orb. I'm going to show you, don't worry. But it's not an orb for entertainment purposes only. I almost forgot to say that, and I would have gotten it taken down and then banned from TikTok, and that would have sucked. It is not an orb. That is totally not. Just watch it. So everyone was so focused on the rave, which looked great, by the way. I would love to do that, like rave at the pyramids. That's pretty cool. Some people were like, it's disrespectful. You know, there's also landfills all around the pyramids too. So we could talk about disrespect all day. It looked like a really great party. I get it. I get that everyone was distracted by it. But there was definitely a UFO.
With all those flashing lights, it's really hard to notice anything. The UFO that she did show, I seen it. I personally think that that might have just been a spotlight that was just moving into frame and then going back out. I could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But it was a little bit of an unnatural movement for sure. But yeah, that rave looks pretty intense.
So let me see if I got this straight. You're trying to tell me that this is a natural rock formation? Oh, you son of a ballbag. This is known as the Three Rock Whales in Thailand, and it's been given that name because people say it resembles a family of whales, a mommy whale, a daddy whale, and a baby whale. But the official narrative says that it's just a natural rock formation that was formed over 75 million years ago. But check the catch, 75 million years ago, this whole region was underwater. Oh, we got your ass now. So what people are saying is that the reason why they look like whales, because brother, that's what they are. Petrified giant whales. Oh my days. So what we're trying to say is that many years ago, everything grew to an enormous size. Vegetation, animals, even humans. And at some point, there was a cataclysm that petrified many living things and turned them into stone. But the eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
To me, those look like they could be spaceships. Really cool looking structures. I've actually never seen them before. And I can see the whale aspect of it as well, but seeing them like that together, that just looks like a spaceship. Maybe it's fossilized ancient technology. I'm really surprised I haven't heard about this sooner. This is actually a really cool looking piece. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, or if you have any theories to what it could be. I mean, it's probably just natural rock formations like they say, but man, that definitely looks odd. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video. I want to thank you guys for watching these clips with me, and with that being said, have a good day.